It's time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Pet Show. If you love animals, care about wildlife, you come to the right place. Did your dachshund seem a little distraught? Are your Abyssinians a bit too anxious? Does your Pomeranian have you totally paranoid? Well, if you love animals, care about wildlife and the environment, and really want to understand your dog or cat's behavior almost as well as they get yours, if you're confused about your dog or cat's behavior or just want to improve their lifestyle, and who doesn't, you know what to do. Stay tuned because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show, America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior, pet lifestyle show. So if you have a question or a comment about your dog or cat, great time to give me a call. Why don't you hop up on my couch? Bring that furry little buddy with you, folks. It is the time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. By the way, if you want to join me in the Ever-Growing Pet Show family, you want to brag about your dog, brag about your cat, want to just tell me a great story about a dog or cat you grew up with. Maybe your dog is jumping or digging or your cat is scratching. Your dog's humping everything in sight. Your dog doesn't get along with some of your new friends coming into your house. Your cat hates the cat. You get the idea. These are questions that I've been helping you guys with for almost 50 years. I can't believe it's going to be 45 years on the air in radio, just radio, 50 on TV. 45 years in November, I've been talking to you guys. Whew, my hair was a lot darker then. Anyway, great time to give me a call if you have questions or comments. By the way, lots of great stuff to give away on the Pet Show today. I got some new stuff to give away on the show today. I'll be giving away, of course, Hugs and Kisses, Lucy Pet Food, Kitty Lickies, Doggy Lickies. I'll be giving away some Arthur Gold for hips and joints. I'll be giving away hemp seed allergy aid, tear stain removal, a lot of herbal flea spray as well. So if you have a question or a comment, great time to give me a call. If you happen to be new to the show, a lot of the items we'll give away are worth as much as 30, 40, even $50. So you have a question or comment about your dog or cat's behavior, great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. If you're watching on YouTube, and I'll take some questions on YouTube as well. If you're new to my YouTube channel, you can go to youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. And as I said, I will take some calls from YouTube, my YouTube channel as well. So if you have a question or comment, great time to call me. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. As I said, everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me live will, in fact, get a great gift for their dog or their cat. 866-870-KRLA. Let me tell you what I have planned for today's show. You know by now that I never get to all my topics because your questions, your comments are always my priority. But here are some of the topics. I tried to do this last week, but I ran out of time. One of the more common questions I get asked, an awful lot, and my background's in behavior, not veterinary medicine, but in behavior, it kind of overlaps sometimes. We all love our pets. Let's face it, we all absolutely love and adore our pets. But the cost of veterinary care has risen. You ready for this? You're sitting down. The cost of veterinary care has risen over 60%. 60% in the last years. Why the major increase in cost in the government is now calling for oversight. Imagine a political story without politics. The story coming up. I know you take your dogs to the vet, you take your cats to the vet. Why the prices? And what happened to the local veterinarian? Dr. Jones Animal Hospital, Dr. Ahern's Animal Hospital. What happened to the local veterinarians? We're going to talk about that. Really interesting topic coming up, and I'm going to definitely want to get your take on that as well. So in reality, we love our pets, but the cost of veterinary care up over 60%. 60%. And a lot of people, I think that's why so many dogs and cats wind up at shelters because of the cost factor. Or so many people avoid taking their dog or cat to the vet where they could have them cured or feel better. What do you think about? What are your feelings on the cost of veterinary care? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. I'll send you a great gift, 866-870-KRLA. Also coming up on today's show, besides that, every week when people call me up and they talk to me about cats being destructive or cats being an issue, hear me recommend boxes, boxes, and boxes for your cats. So the question is your cat addicted to boxes? Are you looking for a box rehab center for your cat? Is your cat having box withdrawals? So what's the story with cats, and why do they love boxes so much? I got the answer coming up. Love to hear from some people who have cats that are maybe addicted to cardboard boxes as well. Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. Now, you know I've trained thousands and thousands of dogs. Not to brag, not for my ego, but I've trained pretty much on every continent except Antarctica. And the bottom line is that with the thousands of dogs I've trained, you know, I answer your questions about behavior. I answer your questions about training. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share, and it's really easy, but I'm going to share my personal thoughts on the secret of successful dog training. How many times have you heard people call me here on the show and say, I had my dog trained, I spent hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, I had my dog trained, and he's not really responding? What are the secrets of successful dog training? And for many people, they can do it themselves. I'll share my thoughts coming up as well. And on a lighter note, a little bit lighter note here, folks. I love doing lighter notes with all the craziness going on in the world. How about love at first sight with your pet? A brand new study came out and said people fall in love with their pet faster than their partner, their human partner. I always think of dogs as my partners. But anyway, the bottom line is a new study says that love at first sight is stronger and more common with people and pets than it is with people and other people. True or false? I'd love to hear from you guys. Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Plenty of time for your questions and comments. Lots of great stuff to give away. So as I said, if your dog is jumping, chewing, your cat is scratching, maybe that rescue cat is confused about the litter box, maybe that new rescue puppy is not housebroken, doesn't get along with other dogs, humps everything in sight. So we do here on the show, help you resolve any issues you may be having with your pets and any issues your pets may be having with you. By the way, the question of the day ties right in. I want to see if you guys have the guts to answer this. Did you fall in love faster with your dog or cat than your human partner? Did you fall in love faster with your dog or cat than your human partner? I know the lovely Denise is listening, so I'm going to hold off on my answer for a little while. But I'd love to get your take on that. The number 866-870-KRLA. Any questions, any comments you may have? How are you dealing with the heat? How are your dogs and cats dealing with the hot weather? I know it's cooling down a little bit. You know, I'm broadcasting from Arizona. I believe today another record-breaking heat wave of 115 degrees. When I look at Molly and Willie and I say, you want to go out? Yes, it's a good thing they don't have middle fingers. They look at me like, we're not going anywhere, Warren. We're not going anywhere. We'll hold ourselves a little bit longer till the sun goes down and it cools down a little bit. How are your dogs and your cats reacting to the hot weather? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Lots of great stuff to give away. And you know, it's very, very rare that I sit here and ask for you guys' support for my own nonprofit 501c3. The Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. Check it out, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. Later on, I'm going to tell you why I need your help. You know what's going on in the south of the United States. You know about hurricane. You know what's going on there, the devastation. The big groups are out there helping. But what happens to the small little mom and pops that no one knows about? I mean, the groups that have maybe 5 volunteers that have a garage sale to raise $50, and now the animals are devastated, they're flooded. What's going to go on? Well, my Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund is kind of like the United Way. We give money to the smallest organizations that you've never heard of, never knew existed. We find them and we help them out. So if you want to help me out, and I'll talk about this later, you can go directly to the hugsandkissesanimalfund.org and make a donation there, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org, or you can call 1-800-430-4847, 1-800-430-4847. And just a note, every single penny, every single penny goes directly to the organization. Now, I know you hear about organizations. Well, 95% goes here and 96% goes here. Well, let me tell you, my Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund, I pay expenses 100%. 100% of your donations goes directly to help the animals. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let me go to David calling from Oceanside. Hey, David, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. Thank you for taking my call. My question to you is, based on your experience, do you have any thoughts about whether it's better for dogs to have grain-free food or food with grain?
You know, I've heard so many stories, so many opinions on this, that, and the other thing. I stick to a diet that, I feed my dogs Lucy pet food. More important to me is the ingredients, the quality of the ingredients going in. I've heard dogs that do great on grain-free, but then there are vets that talk about grain-free may have some adverse benefits for heart situations. So it's kind of a choice on yours, but an all-around good, healthy dog food is the way to go. Some people want to go grain-free, and some people at the pet stores recommend grain-free. Honestly, I recommend a good, solid brand that's been around for a long time. So I feed my pets Lucy pet food, and that's what I recommend.
Okay, does your Lucy pet foods have grain or not?
I want you to do this. How about if I send you some? You check it out. First of all, let me say, it's not my Lucy Pet, okay? People think that Lucy Pet is part of... No, Warren, the only part of Warren involved with Lucy Pet is my love for the CEO, my love for the president, and my love for the amount of work, effort, and patience and passion that goes into it. So let me do this. I'm going to put you on hold, David, but you got to get back to me and let me know how you're doing. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you some Lucy Pet food to get you started. The grain-free, grain diet, that's been going on, God, is for years and years and years now. I remember there was a dog food years ago called cornucopia, and there was this one, and there was that one, and this one. I try to stick with someone who's been involved with the pet food industry for years and years. I try to stick with someone who I do the commercial for just seconds for Lucy. You'll see why I recommend it so highly. Great time to give me a call, by the way, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. We'll get back to you, Patty, and I want to talk to you about your Bernese Mountain Dog, a nibbling Bernese Mountain Dog. My goodness. Anyone out there ever have a greatest Swiss Mountain Dog? Anybody out there know what a greatest Swiss Mountain Dog looks like? I'm sure the burner people do. It looks like a Bernese Mountain Dog with shorter hair. Beautiful dogs, by the way. Amazing breed of dog. We'll get to you, Wendy. We'll get to you as well. The number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break, and then we'll get right back to your phones. Listen, I get a lot of great time to give me a call. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. Got lots of great stuff to give away today's show. I got, if you have one of those dogs with tear stains, I got some tear stain stuff. Herbal flea spray. We're going to need that this year with the hot weather. I got some temp joint allergy aid. Lots of great stuff. Hugs and Kisses, Lucy Pet Food, Hip to Be. Lots of great stuff to give away. Everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me live will, in fact, get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. The question of the day is pretty simple. It is basically... did you fall in love faster with your dog or cat than your human partner? I want to know. Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. It is fall. That means this time of year I get so many emails and calls from people saying, my dog was great all summer long, but now he's really being a pain in the butt, Warren. We can't leave the house. He goes crazy. Well, why? It's back to school. Back to school, back to work. So that means that dogs and cats that were pretty much coddled and loved and spent a lot of time with during the summer are now all of a sudden being left by themselves with nothing to do but watch General Hospital. I pee on the floor and chew the couch. So the bottom line is we have to take into consideration that we have to keep that mental stimulation up, even though our hours may be a little bit shorter. We don't have the same amount of time. It's not the quantity of time you spend with your dog or cat. It's the quality. But remember, they've been with you most of the summer. Now they're left alone. So they're going to have some changes that you're going to have to handle. Increase the exercise, the mental stimulation, and you should be just fine. 866-870-KRLA. Let's go to Patty in Sun Valley with a Bernese Mountain Dog, a nibbling Bernese Mountain Dog. Hey, Patty, welcome to the Pet Show.
Good morning, Warren. How are you?
I am doing absolutely fine today, other than the fact it's going to be 115 degrees in Arizona. I am perfectly okay.
Very good. Well, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, welcome.
But I have a Bernese Mountain Dog who I adore, and yes, I fell in love with her immediately. But she does this thing. I've looked it up. It's called cobbing, nibbling. And she will do it. From what I've read, it can be a sign of anxiety or affection, or like if she's just sitting on the couch, because that's what they do with me. She'll just like nibble on my clothes, and I have to be careful because I have had a hole before. But I try to distract her with giving her one of her toys to nibble on.
Whoa! Didn't you ever take Psych 101 in school?
Yes,
if the dog is doing something you don't want, and you replace it with something they really like, you just told the dog that if you want that thing you really like, just bother something that I don't want you to bother.
But she has access to all her toys.
It makes no difference. Here's why. When she chews on you, when she's nibbling on you, you react. Mm-hmm. And she responds to that reaction. And what happens is the best thing to do at that point, how old is your burner, by the way?
She's not quite 2, just shy, a couple months shy of 2.
And you've had it since she was a puppy?
Yes.
First of all, Bernese Mountain Dogs are kind of like the Peter Pans of the dog world, okay? So they kind of stay kids their whole lives, which is good. But again, the nibbling that she's doing, the thing, it's perfectly normal. It's ignore. What I want you to do is when she starts to nibble, get up, don't say a word, walk away. I don't want her to get any attention whatsoever for nibbling. However, let's say you were my client and I was coming to your home and I was working with you, okay? Not available, by the way, but let's say I was. Mm-hmm. The first thing I would do is try to find out how many puppies were in the litter, where the dog came from, how young was the dog separated from the litter, did she have enough time to get that nibbling out of the way with her litter mates before you got her. All of that makes a big difference. If there weren't enough puppies in the litter, that could be part of it. However, this is a real easy problem to resolve because they learn through association. And your dog learned if he nibbles on you, he's going to get something he wants. Stop giving him what he wants. Just get up and walk away. That's the resolution to the problem. Again, have you done any training with the dog?
Well, yes. I mean, she's very good. She's very responsive. She pays attention to me when we're walking, and she's really good. I really don't have any complaints, except that if she's sitting on the couch, I do cover the couch with a blanket so that if she does nibble, she's not actually nibbling on the couch.
But you're still encouraging her to nibble. In other words, what you need to do, increase her exercise. That's important. I would increase her exercise. When you sit on the couch, I would find 1 or 2 toys. What's your dog's name?
Maple.
I would chew on your clothes. I would choose on your clothes so you call me Maple. Anyway, what I want you to do at this point is when the dog is coming up on the couch with you, I want you to find 1 or 2 toys that she never gets except when she's up on the couch with you. So in other words, when you get up on the couch, she gets those toys. When you get off the couch, those toys are put away till the next time you go back up on the couch. So her association with getting on the couch now is playing with the special toys, not nibbling on your cashmere sweater. How's that sound?
Very good. I will definitely get
it. Almost sounds like I've heard something like this before. Believe me. And they're such great dogs. I'm such a big fan of the Bernese Mountain Dogs. They do have a tendency to cancer. Did anyone mention that to you?
Yes, I know their life can be short, so we're aware.
It could be short, but I got to tell you, a short life with a burner is like 50 years with any other dog. So enjoy the dog.
The last 2 years have been wonderful.
Great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on hold. The lovely Suzette's going to pick up, and I am going to send you. What am I going to send you? What do I want to send you? Blah, 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 blah. You know what? I am going to send you I'm going to send you my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats for your dog. How's that? The most expensive thing I have on its way to you, and I appreciate that phone call. Hey, the phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I got to take a break in a couple of minutes, but I definitely want to get to you, Wendy. I want to get to you, Roz in Woodland Hills as well. It's really a good time to call me. I got a lot of great stuff. I really want to find out from you guys. And this was a legitimate story, by the way. Love at first sight with a pet. This study forget love at first sight with your significant other. What about the feeling when you first lock eyes with your dog or cat? A new study reveals we may have a bigger first bond with pets than with people. Maybe that's why I wound up with 30 dogs and 27 cats and 2 pigs. There's something very strange about me. People have been saying that for a long time. But automatically, there's an immediate bond I have with animals. Just an immediate bond. I'm sure a lot of my listeners do too. I don't have that immediate bond with people. And I think the reason for that is because of my experience over the years. I've been able to kind of evaluate animals better than I can evaluate people. So just spending a few minutes with a dog or a cat is really not even a few minutes. I can look at a dog. I can look. Molly and Willie. My Molly and Willie. Here's the story of Molly and Willie, okay? My Molly and Willie, high kill shelter in Los Angeles. Denise and I are sitting, having some coffee at an IHOP in Venice Beach. All right? Denise is going through her phone, and she sees these bonded pair of chihuahuas at a high kill shelter, and she looks at me, and I said, let's go. Let's go. So we drove to the high kill shelter, and that's exactly where we adopted Molly and Willie. Now, it's a little different for me and Denise because we adopted them sight unseen. I adopted them before we saw them. But when they brought them down, and Willie looked in my eyes, and Molly looked in Denise's eyes and Molly's eyes, it was done. I was hooked. I'm an addict. I can't help myself, but I fall in love with, and that's why I wound up. I'm sure it's the same with so many of my rescues out there. How many people have said, you know what, I'm going to be a foster? And how many times have you heard them call me on the show and say, I'm a foster failure? So listen, sometimes you got to look beyond what you see at the kennel. You got to look beyond what you see at the shelter. You got to look beyond what you see at the rescue. Look into the eyes. Look into the eyes. The eyes will tell you an awful lot. And don't base your judgment on what the dog looks like behind the cage. Get him out of that cage. Spend a couple of minutes with him, and I guarantee you, chances are, he or she will be going home with you. 866-870-KRLA. I want to hear from people as well. How many people fell in love with their dog or cat immediately? As soon as they went to the shelter, as soon as they saw the dog, as soon as they saw the cat, they said, you know what? Done deal. I'm taking him home. How many people had that situation? Give me a call. I'll send your love a great gift. 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Plenty of time for your calls. Now, real important story coming up. We have a lot of fun on the Pet Show. But a lot of my listeners, not only here, but I do my international show all across the country and Canada, are not taking their dogs to the vets or their cats to the vet as often as they probably should because of the cost factor. It's up 60% in the last few years. I want to hear from people as well. How many people have found the cost of veterinary care for their dog or their cat prohibitive? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. Your response to me may guide other people in ways maybe they can save a few bucks as well. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back to all of your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show. Back on The Pet Show, I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call, have a question or comment. Get through and we talk. I got a great gift for your dog or cat. Many of the items worth as much as $40 or $50. So if you have a question or a comment or just want to brag a little bit, or tell me if you fell in love with your dog or cat quicker than you fell in love with your human partner. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Or I'd love to hear from some of my listeners out there because you guys are incredibly bright when it comes to your dogs. What you've done to keep your dogs and your cats a little cooler during the heat. Maybe some tips that you have and you share with my audience may benefit them as well. So give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. And are you guys embarrassed to say that you fell in love with your dog or cat quicker than you fell in love with your human partner? I admit it. I did. Even Denise, turn off the radio. Even the lovely Denise, okay? When I first met Denise, I met her dog, Rio, her rescued German Shepherd she brought to L.A. from Seattle, Rio. So my relationship with Rio started way before my relationship with Denise. As a matter of fact, when I would come out to L.A., I would even say, it's okay if you're not home, Denise. I'm going over to see Rio. And there you go. So I fell in love with Rio first, and then Denise. 866-870-KRLA. You can turn it back on, Denise. 866-870-5752. How many people fell in love with their dog or cat before they fell in love with their human partner? Or any question you have, jumping, barking, digging. I get these calls all the time. This new area I live in, they have a dog park, and people found out that this is what I do. This is who I am. So I get all these questions that they've had answers for. They had no answers for. My dog is going after other dogs. My dog is doing this. My dog, my cat. If you have any questions about your pet, this is the time. This is the time to give me a call, 866-870-5752. Let's go to Wendy in Los Angeles. Hi, Wendy. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. I love you. I love your show.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And as far as the answer to your question, I'm divorced, but as soon as I meet somebody who has the same personality as Jamie, the 90-pound rescue German Shepherd who's the sweetest animal on the planet, I'll be right there.
Did we lose you? Wendy.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm right here, Wendy, waiting for you to... What's up?
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'm also supposed to tell you that I don't want a gift. I want you to give it to a rescue, preferably one that deals with German Shepherds, okay?
I know a few of them. I will.
I figured. Okay, so here's my question. I have 2 cats, 2 dogs, all rescue. One of my cats is infuriating because he keeps trying to get out and does periodically in the middle of the night, and then I pace all night until he comes back.
Do you ever think that maybe you're infuriating to your cat? That's why he's running out?
No, but thank you for playing. I'm depressed now. Okay. So here's the thing, seriously. My vet, who is now one of my very best friends, has built like an extension onto her patio that's screened in, and her cats go on that and, go outside, sort of. So she said, well, I'll help you build one that will go outside in the back yard, and he'll be able to go out there. My question is, and I'm serious, is that going to be more frustrating to him, or do you think he'll like that?
He will absolutely love it. Now, you don't have to build it yourself. You can go to Amazon. You can go to Walmart. They sell enclosures for cats. They have enclosures for cats that can fit in a window, at a back door. Listen, I'm a firm believer in mental stimulation. I'm also a firm believer that it's way too dangerous for cats to be running around loose on the streets of any city in America. So I tell
him that every time he comes back in. Warren Eckstein says you can't go out there where the coyotes walk down the street.
Show him my picture next time. My photo really works. It scares the coyotes away. Anyway, what I really want you to do, all joking aside, is I want you to check that out. You can put an enclosed area. Just make sure whatever enclosed area you have has a top on it and is undiggable, so they can't dig out the bottom either. A lot of them are made with tops that kind of come in, so the cats can't get over them. But I think it's a great idea. Is he going to get frustrated? He may get frustrated a little bit. That's okay. We all get frustrated a little bit, but it's a lot. I would rather have a frustrated cat than one being killed by a coyote. So I say go for it.
Okay, and other than the boxes, which I fall over on a daily basis, thank you very much, he gets bored. Other than changing out the boxes, anything else, there isn't a toy that I found that he's interested in.
Are you growing organic plants for him?
No.
Shame on Wendy. Wendy.
No, wait. I have a perfectly good reason. The other cat, who is dumb as a stump but beautiful, has a bladder condition. So his diet is really circumscribed, and the vet says, no plants, no nothing. So all my plants live outside now, unfortunately.
Okay, but you have the opportunity when they're not on top of each other, to give him some catnip or to give him some other type of organic plant. That's really it helps.
We're a sober household. He doesn't like catnip. Sorry. It's not that I haven't listened to you for years.
No, it's not all cats. Not all cats respond to catnip. 1/3 of cats will not. They don't have the catnip gene. They're not going to respond to it. What I would try to do is be more creative. Be more creative with the boxes. That's number one. I would really, cut holes and be a lot more creative. Scratching posts, put on top of there. Get some carpeting. Go to the carpet store locally. Get some remnants. They'll give them to you for free. Put them on the floor. Glue them to the box with the nappy side out. That will encourage him to play with them. And you say you're tripping over the boxes. That means they're down too long. The whole concept of boxes, which I will be talking about, is that every box smells different, and they're free. Change them every day. If it's the same box down for 2 days, I don't want that box. Smells like the same chicken it smelled 2 days ago. I want you to alternate the boxes, bring them in, rotate them. When you have a cat that is that inquisitive, that's that bored or that frustrated with being inside, it's your job to make the inside outdoor interesting. And that's where the change of boxes and other things come into play. And I would definitely catnip and other types of organic plants, just keep them away from the cat that's not supposed to have them. But it's kind of not fair. It's kind of like if you have 2 kids in a household and one kid's diabetic, sometimes you have to sneak a little candy to the kid that's not diabetic. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand. Neither of them like catnip. I mean, the German Shepherd probably likes it more than the cats do, but that's fine. And I'll try with the boxes, and hopefully that will help.
You know what? Go online. Don't feel bad. Go online. There are other plants that are even more beneficial than catnip. So if they don't like the catnip, they may valerian. They may go for something else. So check out the ones that are safe and give it a shot.
Okay, and thank you very much for what you do. I'm a terrible foster failure, but really, thank you for what you do.
So, Wendy, do you still love me, Wendy? Even though I criticize you, do you still love me?
Are you kidding? Actually, I just recommended, and actually, I would like something. I have a friend who has a German Shepherd, and he just made the mistake of bringing in, dear God, a young Labrador dog, and they're not getting along because the new dog is torturing the German Shepherd. And I said, you should go to Warren Eckstein show and blah, blah, blah. So which one of your books should I buy him?
The book on training people. Now, that's my next book, How to Get Your People to... No, I'm joking. I'm going to put you on hold. Say hello. I'm going to put you on hold. Say hello to the lovely Suzette. She loves those hellos. And we're going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. But in the interim, if he goes to my website, thepetshow.com, don't forget that thepetshow.com. I don't push the website. There's lots of great info. It's all free. There's lots of great info at the website. Go to my YouTube channel. There's lots of great info there, specifically on first pet psychology, which is exactly what we're talking about. So it's important that he goes there now. I can't get the book right away to you, but he goes there now based on the fact that the longer the behavior stays, the more ingrained it becomes. We can nip it in the bud and we'll get it over and done with. So not a big problem. You just got to follow that first pet psychology. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. You know what? Let me take a quick break, and then we come back. We're going to get to Pamela in Los Angeles. We got Roz in Woodland Hills. I got a couple of open lines. That's pretty rare. I still have some great stuff to give away. I have Hugs and Kisses, Lucy Pet Food, Kitty Lickies, the brand new Doggy Lickies, Hip to Be Square dog treats, Allergy Aid, Herbal Flea Spray, Joint Aid, lots of great new stuff to give away. So if you have a question or comment, great time to give me a call. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. A quick break, then right back at you. You Pet Show, I'm Warren Eckstein. Phone number, great time to call me. Got a couple of open lines, pretty rare. 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away on the show as well. Let me take a call, and then I'm going to share with you why cats and boxes go together. And then we have a over-grooming cat in LA. We can't have that. But right now, let's go to Roz in Woodland Hills. Hey, Roz, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. So I have a very smart little pit bull at the house, grand dogger, and now that everybody's going back to work, she gets really bad anxiety when we're all gone. And so I was wondering if maybe you had any advice as to what I can do to help her when nobody's at the house. And then one more thing I want to ask about. When I'm on a Zoom call, she knows Grandma cannot she can do whatever she wants. And she will jump up and take the cat's food off of a high shelf if she sees me on a Zoom call.
I promise I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, Roz.
It's crazy. Yesterday it was my son's birthday, and she hopped up there. I'm on a Zoom call, and she got 2 little cream puffs, and she just, little sneaky girl, and she knew I couldn't stop her because I was.
Well, did it ever occur to you that as smart as the pit bulls are, and I'm a big fan of pitties, you know that when you're on a Zoom call in the house and no one else is around and you're talking, who do you think your dog thinks you're talking to?
I think she just thinks it's time to take advantage of Grandma.
Oh, do you think maybe there's no other human being in the house and maybe she thinks you're talking to her and you're not reacting?
Yeah, because everyone's going back to work now. So when I am home and I have to do a Zoom call or something, she knows that she can do whatever she wants.
No, that's not the reason she's doing it. No, that's not the reason she's doing it. It's your fault. Like any good therapist, when in doubt, I'm blaming it on mom and pop. Listen to me. The bottom line is this. When you're home and you're on a Zoom call and no one else is in the house, the dog's going to go absolutely crazy to get your attention because she thinks you're talking to her and you're not responding to her.
Oh, wow. I didn't think of that.
That's my job. So that's number one. What I would do is before you get on your Zoom call, find an item or two that you can give her at that point and increase her exercise. But the more you try to correct her, make some fake Zoom calls and practice with the dog. Don't do it when you're on a real important one. So that's number one.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. What was the second question?
Well, when I do have to leave, so now everyone's back at work, she gets anxiety because she's been used to having somebody at the house every day.
What I want you to do is I want you to practice really leaving for very short periods of time, maybe a minute or two. Just go out the front door, come right back in. Again, I say this almost weekly. Don't let the dog know you're leaving for a long period of time. Don't grab your purse. Don't grab your car keys. Don't grab your jacket, like you need a jacket now. Just walk out of the house. No long goodbyes. No big hellos when you come back. What happens is when you say goodbye, I'll be back in a while, you grab your keys, you're triggering the dog to know that you're going to be gone for a long time. Make it slower. Leave a radio on when you leave. Find a couple of items the dog only gets. I'm going to be talking about a new item that's really brand new to the market. It's kind of an aromatherapy disc that slips over your dog's collar or harness. And it's been really successful in calming them down from anxiety such as separation. You'll hear me start talking about it next week, but that's something. Follow the advice that I just gave you. It's going to make all the difference. Increase the exercise. Remember now, when you're on the Zoom call, the dog thinks you're talking to them, and the dog's going to react accordingly, okay? So anyway, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold as well, and you are going to get your you know what? I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food for your dog. Give him some Lucy pet food and some treats before you leave. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Isn't it amazing? I hate to say this, and this is my audience for 45 years? Listen to me. If you listen to what I say on a regular basis, you start to understand that, in fact, it's true. It's true that sometimes our dogs and cats are smarter than we are. A quick break, then we're right back to your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the Pet on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. We got a whole other hour to go. Great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA. Let me try to answer Pamela before we break for the top of the hour. We got a whole other hour to go. And if you have a dog or a cat and you go to a veterinarian, you're not going to want to miss the next hour. But right now, let's go to Pamela. Hi, Pamela. Welcome to the show.
Oh, good morning, Warren. I've run into you in the West Side and around town for years, and I used to work in animal rescue for decades. But anyway, my cat was overgrooming, and I took her to lots of doctors, and she was on gabapentin and Prozac, and I thoroughly cleaned my house. I got every speck of dust, and air air filters, and she seems a lot better. And I've taken her off the medicine because she wasn't really accepting it very well. She would detect it in her food, and I tried to put it in her ears, and they became infected. It was a real problem. But anyway, she's like 90% better. Do you know what that's about?
Yeah, overgrooming generally, it could be a medical reason, but it's very, very often stress or anxiety. And overgrooming, compulsive overgrooming in both dogs and cats, even people that are constantly scratching their head, is generally related to excessive anxiety or excessive stress, to the point where some people lose their hair. Even animals get alopecia as well. So I think what you need to do is you need to really sit down with a piece of paper and a pen and look around and say, when is she primarily doing this? What in the house do I think may be stressing her out? Is it me? Am I talking too loud? Am I watching some TV show or that has a lot of noise in it? Or we have people coming into the house that the cat's fearful of? Did I make any changes? In other words, if you're on the veterinary, following the veterinary care right now, then I have to handle it from the behavioral aspect. So what we want to try to do is make the cat as happy as possible. That's where the cardboard boxes come in. Critical, because if we get a cat that's stressed or anxious, focusing on something different, that's the Pet Show. This is it, folks, the place where we absolutely love, adore, respect your pets. If you have a question or comment about your dog or cat's behavior, they're jumping, they're humping, they're digging, they're scratching, they're waking you up in the middle of the night, they don't come back when you call them, they're fighting, they don't get along with your new boyfriend. You get the idea. If you have a question or want me to help you resolve any issues, or maybe something you need to understand about your dog or cat's behavior, great time to give me a call. Just a reminder that everyone that calls into the show gets to talk to me live on the air today. Will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. We're not giving away biscuits here. Many of the items worth as much as $40 or $50. I got great stuff to give away. So if you have a question or a comment, great time to call me. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Got a few open lines, plenty of time to answer your calls. I got hugs and kisses to give away, Lucy pet food, kitty lickies, doggy lickies, copies of my best-selling books, either dog or cat, those T-shirts that say none of my friends walk upright. I got some brand new, all-natural herbal flea spray, and you're going to need it this year with the heat that we had. I got lots of great stuff to give away. So if you have a question or a comment or just want to share a story about your dog or cat, great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. Even if you want to just tell me about a dog or cat and how you're dealing with the heat and the weather and back to school, any issues you may be having. Let me get back to Pamela first, though. Hey, Pamela, you still with me? Pamela.
About the first date that I had with my husband. He came over for a few hours and met my Jack Russell Lulu, and he was always a cat person. And as he was leaving, he said to me, well, I guess I'm a dog person now. And that got to me. And we were together for 24 years, very, very happy. We rescued a lot of dogs and cats. Oh, God, did a lot of TNR. And that just really got to me when he. Yeah, so you fell. Yeah, but you fell in love with him because of his reaction to your pet. Yes, absolutely. Great. I'm trying to think what I want to send you. What do I want to send you? I don't know what I want to send you. Oh yeah, I know what I'm sending you. I'm putting you on hold, and I'm sending you a copy of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. All right, listen, Nancy, I want to get to your call. Martin, I want to get to your call. I got a couple lines open, so if you've been trying to get through, now's a great day to give it a shot. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I want to take a couple of minutes and talk to you about a serious subject, okay? The cost of veterinary care. You don't know how many times I hear from people say, I just can't afford to go to the vet anymore. I know my dog or cat needs to be seen by the vet, but I cannot afford to go anymore. Let me share this. It just came out. I started talking about it a little bit, but I ran out of time last week. So earlier this month, Senator Richard Blumenthal and Elizabeth Warren, who I never agree with, but I agree with them on this, actually co-signed a letter to two corporations calling for oversight of mergers and consolidations by the Federal Trade Commission.
The letter asks financial questions, including wanting to know how many veterinary clinics the corporations own and the cost of basic pet service. Private equity firms are raising prices for veterinary services in addition to pushing unnecessary tests. The letter says firms took advantage of rising pet ownership rates during the COVID-19 pandemic, viewing veterinary clinics as a recession-proof investment because companies can exploit consumers' love of their pets by raising prices, often without consequences. Prices for veterinary service increased by 60% over the last 3 years. They say now the average cost is $300. Yeah, try to get in and out of your vet for $300 as private equity firms push profits over customers. This situation is analogous to private equity takeovers in healthcare. In context, extensive research shows that when private equity takes over a hospital or physician practice, prices and the number of expensive procedures tend to go up. So that's the report that came out, and I'm glad to see, they're not my favorite politicians, but I'm glad to see that at least they're taking some reaction, because it breaks my heart, and I'm in a different position than most people, because I hear from people, and when they tell me, Warren, I want to take my dog, he's doing this, or my cat has this, I want to go to the vet, I just cannot afford to go to the vet anymore. How many people would still rather prefer going to a private veterinary hospital than a veterinary hospital owned by large corporations? I'd love to hear from you guys. It's an important subject, and important comments from you can make a difference in terms of many of my listeners, how they feel. So if you agree, like I agree, that I remember going to the vet and I knew the vet and I knew the people next door, I knew the people that worked there, I knew many of it. What happened to those days? What happened to those days? It's no different with doctors. I get it. But when it comes to our pets, I'm a little more conscientious. So are you finding that this is true, that the cost of going to the vet may be prohibitive and preventing you from taking your dog or cat to the vet as frequently as you might want to? Love to hear from you. Give me a call. I'll help you get through some of that by sending you a great gift for your dog or cat. So great time to give me a call. The phone number here, 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number. Plenty of time for your calls, and it's so true. It is so true, and it breaks my heart when I have to do stories like that. I try to keep the show upbeat, but when I find out that people are not taking their dogs and their cats to the vet, even for serious issues, because they just can't afford it. Most of my listeners would sell their house or mortgage their house to pay for their dog or cat, but they may not even be enough. When I hear people say, I went to the vet and it was $3,000 for this, or $2,000 for this, or I got my shots and it was $100, I don't get it. I'd like to get your response to that. Give me a call. Let me know. 866-870-5752. 866-870-KRLA. That is the way to get through. Let me go to Nancy first, calling from where I am right now. Not too far away. Well, pretty far away. Kingman, Arizona. Hey, Nancy. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Warren. I'm glad you're in Arizona. I'll bet you're going to love it in a week when it starts cooling off.
Well, I had a second place in Sedona for a while. They keep telling me another week when it's going to cool off. It's going to cool off. At the meantime, it's going to be 115 today, so I'm still waiting for the cool off to happen.
It'll come, believe me.
I let Molly and Willie out late at night because it's nice and cool. So I let them out late at night to kind of run around a little bit. And they looked at me and said, "Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Yes,
I want to go back in the house where the air conditioning is."
I agree with you. Early morning, late night. So
there you go.
Okay, so my Maeve is a mix. She's a Pitty and German Shepherd mix.
Well, we call them blended breeds. No more mixes, blended breeds.
Thank you, blended. And she's a sweetheart. She's very gentle. But she now is starting to paw me when she wants attention. If I'm sitting with her on the couch, she'll paw me. And she cuts my skin. I take her to the groomer, and they cut, they do the nail thing, but it still cuts me. And I have thin skin. I'm 71.
I heard about you people in Kingman. I heard about you people in Kingman with thin skin. Anyway, listen to me, Nancy.
Hey.
Listen, it's one of my favorite cities, the home of Andy Devine. How can I not like it? Plunk my magic triangle frog.
Yeah,
and go up with that. Here's my question for you. When your dog comes over, what type of dog is it? Did you say?
She's a blend of mostly Staffy and German Shepherd.
Okay, what a combination there. So my question to you is, when she comes over to you, and she so blatantly takes a paw and throws it on your leg, what do you do? or arm, what do you do?
I push her away because she's going to cut my skin.
So what do you think other dogs do with each other when one dog takes his paw and throws it over the other dog? They kind of push away each other. They're playing. So what's happening by you pushing the dog away, the dog just assumes that you're part of the game. A couple of things I want to go over here. Number one is when a dog takes its paw and puts it on you. Everyone, you hear these trainers on TV, well, it's dominant behavior, it's this, that, it's the other thing. Very often, it's just that they want to play. In some cases, it could be that they want to be in charge, but I don't think that's the case with you. So what I would do is rather than push the dog away, rather than say phooey, wait till daddy comes home, naughty, 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 what I would do is get up, don't say a word, and walk away. Just walk away. Leave the dog wanting. And the reason I say that is very often I'm not one of those behaviorists that believe in ignoring a problem because it resolves itself. In some situations, you have to really confront it. But in a situation where a dog is doing something and because it hurts, you're reacting to it. I can't tell you not to react if it hurts, but then you're actually reinforcing it. Just get up. Don't say a word. Don't say good dog. Don't say bad dog. Don't say anything. Get up and walk away. When you come back later, if he does the same thing, get up and walk away again. Because dogs learn psychologically through the associative memory, what's going to happen is that the dog will eventually learn when he does that, he's going to get no reaction whatsoever. Therefore, why?
All right, that leads to another problem. So when I'm playing with her, she's got a toy, and we're back and forth with it. She'll do the same thing. I don't know what to do there either.
When you play with her, and I'm a big fan of this combo breed. When you play with her, and she has something in her mouth, when you play tug of war, do you go up or down or side to side?
Side to side.
See, go up and down.
Go up and down?
Yeah, side to side is assertive behavior. That's how they would take something apart. Up and down is play. Up and down is play.
Okay.
Yeah. I should do this for a living. I really should. I really should try this profession. Now, no, but seriously, over the years, I remember a lot of the stuff I learned is obviously learned by me, but I spent a lot of time in Europe, and I learned from some really old school behaviorists. And even though I disagreed with a lot of their approaches, which were a lot more assertive than I would ever be, I learned an awful lot from them. For example, when a dog is playing tug of war, always going up and down is a lot better than. And some trainers say don't do tug of war. I'm not against tug of war. That's the way animals play with the other. But up and down, never back and forth. Back and forth can be more of an assertive or an aggressive situation than up and down. But again, once the paw comes up, drop, walk away. Dog will get the idea in no time at all. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Warren.
Listen, do you have a copy of my book?
I do.
Well, then read it. I love when people say they have. How about read? Anyway, listen. Don't. I know what I'm going to say. Don't go anywhere. You have a German Shepherd. Hips and joints are important. The German Shepherd Pity Mix. I'm going to put you on hold. The lovely Suzette's going to pick up. Suzette, we're going to send her some Arthrosoothe Gold for the hips and joints. It's a great little product. Works great for hips and joints. On its way to you, and I appreciate that phone call. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Why did I lose my commercial thing here? Anyway, let me take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to you, Nancy. We'll get to you, Natalie and Martin. 866-870-5752. 866-870-KRLA. That is the way to get through. All right, Lucy. Just the other day, I just happened to watch Born Free, the movie Born Free. You would think I would be over it, but I have to cry whenever I watch that movie. Hey, we're back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. I'm going to get to Martin, Natalie, Liz, and Eva. Before I do that, though, again, I want to ask for your help, okay? It's very, very rare, that I do this, but let me tell you why I'm doing it. You know that after I get off the air here, I do my international show for Radio America, Armed Forces Radio, and the devastation of Hurricane Helene to the southeast U.S., let me tell you, my Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund is once again reaching out to all of the small mom-and-pop animal rescues that no one ever hears about. Their needs are desperate. Tell me, I've been hearing about them. Due to their losing not only the animals, the facilities are gone. Their total facilities wiped out. Now, here's the deal. When you donate to the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund, you can rest assured that 100% of your donation as I look right into the camera, 100% of your donation goes directly to these organizations. No expenses taken out. The projects, the money, the expenses, that's paid by me. So I'm asking for your help. These small groups, sometimes they get overlooked. Some of the big groups out there, they do great work. The ASPCA, they do really good work. But sometimes the small little mom and pops are overlooked because no one knows they exist. So here's what I want you to do. If you'd like to help me make a donation to these small groups, what I want you to do is go to my site. This is a 501c3, my own nonprofit, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. That's hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. Or if you prefer, you can call this number, leave a message, we'll call you back. 1-800-430-4847. That's 1-800-430-4847. I guarantee you that every penny will go directly to help these small mom and pop groups in the South that are having such a hard time. Call this number, 1-800-430-4847. Leave a message or go directly to the website, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. And bless you and thank you once again for helping me and you helping me, helping thousands of animals that may have been overlooked because they're such small organizations. All right, let me get back to the phone lines here. We are going to Marina Del Rey and Martin. Hey, Martin, welcome to the show.
Hi. I'm glad you gave me that number because I've always thought about the money I donate to SPCA, if they're getting all of it or someone's putting some of it in their pocket or what.
Well, I don't know. Everyone. I guess everyone tries to do what they would do, but just from my perspective, I work with these organizations that no one else knows about or hears about, and quite honestly, the fact that I can send every single dollar there's no expenses taken out. It's not like 85%, 100% goes there. Anyway, I don't want to run out of time. So I'm looking at your phone call. I'm looking at my computer. You have a 13-year-old dog that's blind, and he doesn't want to get up and walk, and you want to know if you should force the situation. Tell me more about the dog, Martin.
Well, she's blind. She went blind when she was 5, and we could never find out. I took her to an eye doctor for dogs, and they couldn't figure it out. So, I mean, she's getting old, and she drags. And I make her get up, and I walk. I don't walk that far. I walk around the block, and I walk slow because I got 2 other dogs that are 5 years old, brother and sister.
Yeah.
Maltese Chihuahua mix, and they're fine. I walk them. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing by making Ruby get up and walk with me. Most of the time I only take her once a day. Sometimes I take her twice a day.
Really? If I were you, what I would be doing is I would be walking her to the point where she stops. Even if it's a matter of 3 minutes, stop. 5 minutes, stop. 10 minutes, stop. Very often, any good physical therapist or good doctor is going to tell you to follow the lead of the dog. And so if the dog really doesn't want to get up, maybe there's some type of pain involved, arthritis and other things. And she's, as we get older, we become senile, and with the blindness on top of that, I would, if it were my dog and she's eating and she's pooping and she's peeing okay, what I would be doing is I would maybe make her get up, which make the walks very short, just very comfortable. She doesn't need that much exercise at this point at 13 years old, but just getting her up, I think that will keep the mind stimulated. So I would force it for really short periods of time unless she really, really starts fighting you on it.
Okay. Can I ask you one other thing?
Sure, go ahead.
I got these 2 little guys. They're little, Maltese and Chihuahua mix. They're brother and sister. And I got them when they were babies, and I've had them about 5 years. They're wonderful. When I walk them, though, if they see another dog, they just go nuts. They start
What do you do?
barking,
What do you do? What do you do?
I just say no, and then I sometimes pick them up and go around them.
Okay.
Or because I don't let them go in the street, so I have to pick them up. Ruby, yeah. I'll make her walk. She does because I have to lead her anyways. That's the old blind one.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, no, stop. No.
A couple of things, Martin, that are really, really, really critical here. Number one, when you take the dogs out for a walk, okay, I want you to think about what life would be like if you were 2'3" tall and everyone around you was 12 feet, how would you feel going out for a walk? You would become a little bit of a Napoleon. In other words, when you saw something that may be fearful to you, you're going to become assertive and aggressive towards it. You reacting to that is reinforcing it. So even saying no, 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 bad dog, whatever you're saying, what I do is I wouldn't say a word. I would just continue walking. I use the term with my dog, it's none of your concern. Continue walking, and I think that'll get you through it. Because once you react, I mean, you can fool me, but you can't fool your dogs. So try to stay calm, maybe a glass of wine before you take them for a walk. But when you do take them for a walk, don't overreact to their assertive behavior. Just don't stop. The minute you stop, you reinforce it. Just continue walking, walk on by, and sooner or later it will resolve itself.
Okay. That's what I'll do. Okay.
You just sound like such an incredible person with all your dogs. By the way, now that I'm living in Arizona, what do I miss most about Marina Del Rey?
The weather.
Tony Pease.
It's overcast right now.
Tony Pease.
Tony Pease.
Oh, Tony Pease, yeah.
Tony Pease, my buddy. I know. I used to ride Harley Davidsons with Tony. Yeah, Tony Pease. I miss Tony Pease. Anyway, listen, Martin, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you some. You know what? I'm going to send you some. Hip to be square dog treats from Lucy Pet. Hip to be square dog treats from Lucy Pet. I know that's different for you, Suzette, but Lucy Pet, hip to be square dog treats. All right, let me do this. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back to you, because before I take a break, though, I want you to listen to me about boxes. Oh, maybe do I have to take a break that fast, Alex? Oh, okay, good. Let me share this with you, because people are always saying, boxes, Warren. You talk about boxes. Do you have an uncle in the box business? Listen to me. And I wrote this for my YouTube. If you're not following my YouTube, shame on you, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Here's the deal. In the wild, cats are ambush predators. This means that they catch their prey by stealthily stalking it and then pouncing when the moment is just right. A box is the perfect hiding place to spot and hide while waiting to ambush unsuspecting prey, which in your case could be your ankle. As tiny predators, cats are potentially prey for larger animals like coyotes and foxes. Enclosed places like boxes provide safety, and of course, cats are curious creatures who just like checking out everything that enters their home, including their new boxes. So how does the box? First of all, as I talk about the scent of the boxes is really important to the cat. But even more important than the scent of the boxes, it gives them a place to hide, both from a fearful situation and both from I'm going to get that person situation. So cardboard boxes, I'm a big fan. Be creative with them. Keep putting them down. They'll make your cats behave a whole lot better. Let me take a quick break here. The phones are jammed. I'll get to as many calls as I can when we come back. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I want you guys to listen to me. I'm admitting it, the other day I happened to be watching cartoons. I was watching the Jetsons, and then my favorite cartoon of all times, I was watching Popeye the Sailor Man. I love Popeye the Sailor Man. Let me get back to the phones there, Jim, but I do want to get to, before we get out of here today, I want to get to the secret of my successful ideas for dog training. But right now, let me take you guys in order. Let's go to Natalie in L.A. Hi, Natalie. Welcome to the show. Hello, Natalie. Natalie, did you disappear on me? Oh, man. I guess.
Hello?
Natalie. Hi, Natalie. You with me?
Yes.
Okay, what can I do? Oh, Allie, what can I do for you, Allie?
Hi, I'm from Los Angeles. So I have two cats. The one cat, the male cat, he's 2.5 years old, and he had a urinary crystals twice already when he was approximately 1.5 years old, and the second time it was when he was 2. It was very painful. So currently we are on a HEALS prescription, CD diet, urinary care, on wet and dry food. And my second cat also eats dry food, my female cat, the CD food. So my question is there a better approach with the food? Because HEALS CD, it seems like there's so much chemicals in this food.
First of all, a lot of vets would recommend primarily an all-wet diet for a cat with urinary problems like that. It's generally caused by an imbalance in the pH or inflammation of the bladder. So there's a few things that vets recommend. They generally recommend feeding the cat, specifically feeding the cat a wet food. That's number one. Number two is, how much water is the cat drinking?
He drinks pretty well.
Okay, but it's real important that But it's real important that they drink a lot of water. If for some reason the cat's not drinking a lot of water, take some spring water from a juice can or a tuna juice can and use that. I don't know of a specific food that I'm going to recommend. I think the food that the vet has you on, the prescription diet specifically for urinary crystals, is definitely the way to go. What I would do is just make sure you check the litter box frequently and hope it doesn't come back, and just follow the advice on that in terms of the food you're feeding. You might want to run by the vet if you want to continue with the dry food, or maybe just get the cat on a wet food diet. But the more water, the better off you are, and that's why it has to be flavored. So, but again, you're doing everything you should be doing. There's nothing I can tell you as a behaviorist more than you're already doing. You got the dog on the diet, rather the cat on the diet. Just make sure she's getting plenty of water, and keep checking. If you notice that she's straining in the litter box or she's not using the litter box, that's indication that it's returned.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Can I ask you one more question, please?
Go ahead.
Which vaccines would you recommend mandatory?
I wish I would tell you that, but I'm not going to say that because every vet has a different way of vaccinating cats. So I would follow the vet's advice, because if I tell you one thing and you go to the vet and he says, no, I wanted this, I wanted that, follow your vet's advice on the vaccinations for your cat. I got to move on. I'm going to put you on hold. Don't go anywhere. I'm putting you on hold. I'm sending you some kitty lickies for your cat, but don't give it to the cat with the crystals in the urine. 866-870-CARE. The phones are jamming. I'm going to get to as many calls as I can, but I want to share this with you because I promised. People are always, I've been training for well over, my whole life I've been training dogs, thousands and thousands. As I said, in every continent, for every type of training that you can imagine. And people say, Warren, what's your secret? Well, there's really no secret. I wrote this week. I'm going to do a video this week for my YouTube channel. I want you to listen to me. When working with dogs, it's really important to remain calm and neutral. Any form of anger or frustration or even excitement can distract the training and affect the outcome. Dogs learn faster when they're highly motivated and engaged if the exercises are divided in small, feasible steps to avoid frustration, or here's something that I talk about no one else does, mental overload. Finding out what kind of rewards, games, or activities your dog enjoys can significantly enhance the training process and respective success. Ensuring that dog training is enjoyable and straightforward for both you and the dog makes it more pleasant and more effective. And I've said this 1,000 times, and I'm so tired of trainers getting angry. You cannot work with a dog in a positive way unless you remain calm and you remain neutral. You might try to fake it. You can fake it with me, but you're not going to fake it with your dog. Let's get back to the busy phone lines right now. Let's go to Liz in Covina. Hi, Liz in Covina. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. I had a comment to your veterinary practice, large corporations.
Yeah.
The corporations are buying out the small businesses, either secondary or like through another area. The small practices, they work long hours. The vets do. The corporate vets, they are an incentive for a higher income and shorter work hours. And so who would not want to work for the corporates? But the corporate businesses then pass on all those fees to the clients. It's like a cookie cutter. It's not a specific.
Yeah, it's. And I speak to vets all the time. My vet here, I have a new vet here in Arizona. One of my friends just opened up a practice in Arizona, in Prescott. You check out the veganvet.com. She's a good friend, really does a lot of great work. But again, I personally, my own vet here in Arizona, a small private veterinary practice with 3 veterinarians that are there. I get the same vet every time I go there. And so it's really important. But you're absolutely right. The same thing thing happens in the medical profession for human beings, and now it's transferred over to the veterinary profession. And I'm not just to knock these large corporations. I think some of them started with really, really, really good intentions, but then what happens is they grow so fast that it becomes more of of the financial people running it than it is the actual veterinarians that are running, even though there are vets on the staff, obviously. So I'm a firm believer, and I'm not knocking. There are a lot of great hospitals, local hospitals that may be owned by these corporations, but those hospitals have to speak to those corporations where the private veterinarian doesn't. So I know there are times you can't make a decision, but I personally, I prefer using a smaller veterinary practice. And if there's questions, there are so many, especially in California, there are so many veterinary specialties. So in other words, you're going to your regular vet, and let's say, for example, you need to see a cardiologist. Your vet can recommend a cardiologist, many different cardiologists, where many of these large groups have all of these specialists on staff, and they have to pay for all that. So I'm a big fan of the individual. I don't want to get trouble for this, but I'm a big fan of the smaller animal hospitals located in the community. That's just me, and I'm assuming you agree.
Oh, yeah. I work for a small animal practice and don't want to do the corporate, because even the veterinarians can't practice the medicine that they want to, because the corporate won't allow this medication, which is actually the best one for the patient, but the corporation says, no, you can't, we're not going to stock that. Or maybe some complementary
holistic approach that they don't want to do. What's your name? The practice? Where's your practice? Tell us.
Elwood Animal Clinic in Glendora. Nice. Elwood. They work hard, good vets.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. So, great call, by the way. I really appreciate it. I got to move on, but I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you a T-shirt that says "None of my friends walk upright." Yeah, it's kind. I got to take a break, but it's kind of interesting how. And it's not that I just knock these big corporations. I believe everyone. I'm a capitalist. I live in the United States, but when a capitalist or a capitalist system is taking advantage of someone who's in love with their dog but now can't afford to get their dog vaccinated or spayed or neutered because of the cost factor, then I have to jump in. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Quick break, then right back to your calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. .com/Warren Eckstein. I'm going to try to get to as many calls as I can. You all know when I get off the air here, though, I do my national show. Goes all over the U.S. and Canada. Even goes to Guam. It's on Radio America, Armed Forces Radio. Write this number down in case I don't get to your call. The phones are busy, and you can call. It's the same type of show. I give away the same type of gifts, but don't start calling that show until 1 o'clock goes to Washington, D.C. Write this number down, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Start calling at 1 o'clock if I don't get to your call here, and I will take your call there. We are going to, you know what, let me do this. Let me go to Sergio in Woodland Hills. He says he has a solution for the guy with the blind dog in the marina. So let's see if Sergio does have a solution. Hey, Sergio, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. How are you?
I'm doing good, Sergio. What's your idea?
Well, so I was an owner of a dog who lost his sight, and as a responsible, loving pet owner, there's nothing sadder than watching your dog lose their sight. So listening to the caller a few minutes ago, my heart went out to him, and I figured I might have some solutions for him that would help him that really worked for me and my pet, which was, when I would walk him, with the confidence level with the leash was, triple when he was off of it. I could tug on it, he could feel on the leash, and he had a lot of confidence to, relax and enjoy the walk. With other dogs around the house, I think it makes them really uncomfortable. They really can't see what's going on. They just got to rely on their hearing and their sense of smell. And I think it just makes it real confusing if you walk all three dogs at the same time. You get one that doesn't know what's going on when the other two are going nuts.
So you think it would be a good idea? You thought it would be I think it would be a good idea for him to walk the 13-year-old visually challenged dog by itself. I can agree. I can agree with that. Sure.
Yeah, for sure. And And, for me, I put carpets in strategic places around the house. He could feel his way around.
Yeah, but see, if the problem were the dog not being 13 years old, the problem with the dog not negotiating the house, I would have done that as well. I would have recommended that they put cardboard boxes, make little trails for the dog till the dog gets used to it. But at 13 years old, I don't think the dog's bumping into walls and stuff like that. I just think the dog is kind of confused and uncomfortable. But I think you have a very valid point. I think the concept of taking the dog out by himself might be really, really beneficial. Do you have any pets of your own right now?
It works for my 12-year-old. It works for my 12-year-old, and I think he lived a little better dog's life because of it.
And I so appreciate you helping out. So what type of pets do you have now, Sergio?
Say again?
What type of pets do you have now?
So now we have a little terrier, a little girl. The blind dog passed away. He was a black English lab. And just the happiest dog on the planet, with sight and without. And just tough watching it lose your sight, especially when they're your best friends. And
listen, I've lived over the years. I've lived with dogs that were both blind and deaf, and it's a horrible thing, but it's also an amazing thing to watch how they can learn to negotiate if you take the time. Sergio, great call.
To watch the resiliency of these dogs, and I would hard step around in front of him, and he could follow me just by the sign of my feet, and little taps and noises, and he made his way around pretty well. And
I always say, Sergio, everything I learned from animals that walk on all fours. That's where I learned my. Anyway, I got to move on, but let me do this. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you for your terrier. I'm going to send you some all-natural herbal flea spray. It's going to be a horrible flea season. The phone number. Oh, let me do this. The phones are jamming. Okay, let me give you the phone number for the network show, which is starting in about 10 minutes. Don't start calling till 1 o'clock. It goes to Radio America in Washington, D.C. It's toll free. Write this number down. I give away the same type of gifts, so you're not going to lose out on the gifts. The phone number there is 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Let me take a break. I'll get right back to you. I want to brag a little bit about my hugs and kisses on thepetshow.com. Again, that number for the network show, if I don't get to your call, starts at 1 o'clock, 877-725-8255. Let's see if we can squeeze in Eva here in Ontario. Hi, Eva. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How can I help you, Eva?
Okay, so real quick, I have a now he's 17-pound terrier mix. He's 14, actually 15 years old. He has congestive heart failure, so I already knew a year ago that he was going to, this was going to take him. So the last time I went, his doctor says maybe 2 months. So I kind of am preparing for that. Out of the blue, he gets acute pancreatitis. My problem with him is he won't eat. Now, I've taken him to the vets over there, ABSG in Tustin. I've taken him to his regular vet. And, so I've been to the vet. So they've given him marazepam, Serenia to see if that, take away the, acid or whatever to get him to eat. I've had him on a low-fat diet for a couple of months now, for months. So initially, if you have a number of 200, that's high. He was at 294 4 months ago. I brought it down to 234, so that was good. In 1 week, from last Wednesday to this week, he went from 234 to 1,494. What happened? I don't know. Did he eat something? I don't know.
Well, what is the vet suggesting at this point?
Well, first, the Serenia and the marazepam to get him to eat on his own.
No. In terms of the dog's lifespan, is the vet saying that the dog has some time ahead of him? Is he saying that the dog is in any type of pain?
3 months. That was the last thing.
Okay, so what I would do, here's what I can only answer this question. You're going to make me tear up here. If this were my dog, and I knew that I only had a couple of months with him, I would make him as comfortable. I would sit down with him every day so he's assured of how much he's cared for, how much he's loved. I would run this by the vet, but if you can get him to eat anything at this point, that might be the way to go. A little tuna juice.
You think this is his way of saying, I want to go?
Not necessarily. He's not feeling good. And at his age, maybe it's a little senility that's setting in. So, in other words...
He and looks at me hungry, but then when I give him food, he doesn't eat. And so
Try,
I just finished. Today's his last day of a 3-day IV course.
Maybe listen to maybe his nose is not working as well. You hear me say this every week. Try heating up his food a little bit. My heart breaks. I wish I had a bet. Well, continue trying that. Sit with him every day. Have the conversation. Look into the eyes. When he's ready to go, he will let you know. But in the meantime, that decision has to come from you and your dog, not from anyone else. What I would try to do is encourage him with a little tuna juice, a little this, a little that. Just try to get him to eat as best that you can, and just give him a hug and a kiss every day, and be thankful every day that you have him. That's what you need to do at this point. There's no miracle that I can give you that's going to make it any different. Anyway, I'm going to move on. You give him a hug and a kiss. I'm trying to think of what I want to send you. Obviously, food's not going to work. Allergy snuff's not going to work. So I'm going to send you I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you a copy of my book, How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want, so that the next dog you adopt as a legacy to this dog, you'll have the understanding. Hey, the number for the network show, 877-725-8255. Till next week, give all your pets a big hug and a kiss for you, one between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein, and bless you for listening.